Hi, my name is Erin Shook, and for our analysis, I will be looking at Kate's Club and their Facebook presence. I will be taking on the role of social media specialist, presenting to my social media manager. This means that I have already looked at the posts and our brand as a whole on a daily basis, and I've consolidated the information so we can compare it month to month from the 6-month period of January 2016 to June of 2016. I will pull out anomalies that might have skewed the data from the day-to-day basis. To begin, we will start with our key takeaways and then move into our analysis. We will look at fans, visibility, engagement, and post performance. We will finally end with comparing our Facebook analysis to our Twitter and Instagram presence as a whole and some final recommendations for the brand as we continue to move forward. Our key takeaways is that our primary demographic is going to be females ages 35 to 44. April had the most posts that we saw in the 6-month time period, but 33 of the posts in April were on the same day. Photos were the most popular type of post, and our content gets more likes than comments or shares. When looking at our brand's fans analysis, we can see that we are connected with predominantly women. As you can see in the chart, in every single month, there was more women connected with the brand than men. From January to June of 2016, there was a 12% increase in female fans, 13% increase in male fans, and a 7% increase in those who did not specify a gender. When looking at a smaller scale, our largest fan base by far were females from ages of 35 to 44. This makes sense with our goal to provide grief resources for families, as it is predominantly women that would seek out grief counseling for their children. And this is the age that you would find many mothers to be a part of. When we look at our brand's visibility, we had 57 posts in April, which were the most that we saw in the 6 months. As we already pointed out, 33 of these posts were on April 16th, 2016, a single day. When we averaged the 6 months, we saw that there was an average of 22 posts per month, but we must also understand that this could be skewed by those 33 posts in April. When breaking this down further, we could see that photos were the most popular type of post. If you don't include the large spike of photos published in April, since the 33 posts were all photos, we could see that our average would be links, not photos, as the most popular type of post. So that's important to take away. We don't have many videos with the brand, with only 4 total in the entire 6-month period, yet these did yield very positive results, which we will get into further. When we look into our engagement analysis, there was a 327% growth increase in engaged users from January to June. Although April had the most posts, when you average the number of engaged users with the brand as a whole, so this is not on the post level, it did not yield the most results. Therefore, we can draw the conclusion that more posts do not lead to more engagement with the page and do not make people feel as though they are more connected. When we break down our post performance analysis, we can see that even with the most posts, April does not have the highest total post impressions because they do have the lowest average at the 773 mark that we can see in the graph at the bottom. It's important to note that May had the highest number of post impressions, yielding a 99% increase in impressions from April to May. This might be a result of the April 25th, 2016 post that was a video, which was by far the most successful post that we saw in the 6-month period. We can see in the chart that we always have to include the post frequency in our analysis, although we were looking at impressions, to provide more context. Because April's low average of impressions, it definitely skews the data, and we need to consider whether or not we want to include those 33 posts that were on a single day. When we continue our post analysis, we can see that most people like the brand rather than comment or share our material. According to Post Planner, the brand should post more often in order to get more interactions. Except we must question how often is too often. April had the most posts, so that wasn't a problem for us. But 58% of their total posts were on the same day, meaning that they weren't very successful, as we can see here in this chart. April as a whole did not have nearly as many likes as May or June or even March for that matter, meaning that we need to be conscious of how often we are posting in a single day or a single time. So we need to be more efficient with our posts. Rather than posting out 33 photos all within a 10-minute time span, we could disseminate that information over a greater amount of time in order to be more efficient and yield more reaction from our fans. When we compare Kate's Club to Twitter and Instagram, we saw that Twitter had a similar problem, with the most posts being in April. And with posting so much in April, their tweets averaged less than 1 like a post. And that's not very good odds. And that's something that we need to be more conscious of, just like we said with Facebook, of posting more efficiently and more effectively with our brand. On Instagram, just like we saw with Facebook, January had a very slow start. However, at least Facebook had 8 posts. And on Instagram, January only didn't have any. We can see that March had the fewest likes per post, and so we need to look into how we can engage our users. In previous analysis, we talked about including calls to actions on Instagram and Twitter, as well as posting more photos or interactive content. When looking at it back to our Facebook, we need to make some actionable recommendations. And this starts with targeting our main demographic, females ages 35 to 44. According to social media and today, women over 25 are likely to have a 9-to-5 career. So we should post during the early morning hours or during lunch breaks so that way they can see our content. According to the Center for Human Potential, we saw that women grieve in different ways than men. And women tend to require support and connection, and they like to talk about what they're experiencing in order to cope with what they went through. So since they want to tell a story, Kate's Club should go ahead and curate the content accordingly. In doing so, we should include questions that spark discourse, that our demographic and the people that are most connected with our organization can have a conversation about what they're experiencing. And the best way to have this conversation is to post during times that the audience is online. And therefore, we should look at the early morning hours and lunch breaks. In April, there were 33 posts in one day. We need to spread out this content and ask those questions in order to make sure that our fans are engaged. Rather than just liking the post, let's ask questions or include a call to action in order to spark comments or shares. Which leads us into our second actionable recommendation, which is to post at least 1 video per month. The single video posted in May had more impressions than both videos in April combined. Videos automatically play on Facebook when someone is scrolling through their feed on Facebook, so it could spark interest and keep users from scrolling past the content. According to Buffer, we should use descriptive titles, tag affiliated pages, and focus our videos on one idea in order to be the most effective. Our Kate's Club videos were very successful as is, but now it's less of an issue of how to do them and more about making sure we're pushing that content out at least once a month so we don't have months that do not include this type of content. And as we already touched on before, all of our posts should include a call to action. Posts receive far more likes than comments or shares, and the best way to overcome this or encourage the other 2 types of interactions is to ask a question. According to B Squared, we should end posts promoting events with a link to the information or asking who's going, so that way we can make sure people are engaging and talking about our content. In addition, the brand is often posting different articles about grieving, and we should ask the users what their thoughts are on a subject, especially when we're posting about new techniques or different things that have come about within the grief field. As we continue to monitor our RSS feed that we recommended earlier in the semester, we can make sure that we're posting content that applies to our primary demographic, includes calls to action, as well as they can be in video form. This will all help post performances. By utilizing these 3 actionable recommendations, we can make sure that Kate's Club is an even more successful brand and can help bring grief strategies towards people to come. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.